But one other thing that I think is kind of the elephant in the room when it comes to console gaming, and I know a lot of this is revolved around console gaming, but the elephant in the room right now when it comes to console gaming is Nintendo. Sony and Microsoft have continued pushing boundaries for consoles. So arguably, if you want to say they're doing as good as they should be doing, or if their graphics aren't as good as they should be for this generation, regardless of that, Nintendo is trailing behind, still profitable, but playing a generation behind or so in their technology.
But they're playing. I feel like they're playing a different game.
Yeah,
because they are not trying to compete with the other two. Because Sony and Microsoft will take these shots at each other and be like, okay, they did this, so we have to do this. We do this to make them do, and so they're pushing each other in the competitive sense that we were talking about earlier. Nintendo has their own plan.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of titles that are there, but when a game comes out from Nintendo, you're not going to have a day one patch, and the game's going to work.
It's going to work,
and it's going to be good.
It's going to be great. Nintendo first party property is still amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Every single title has not disappointed. Mario Maker is coming out, or some people already have their hands on it and are playing it. By the time this launches, I believe it'll just be out. But you have essentially Nintendo pumping out games that are still their classic IPs that we all grew up and loved, and earlier and younger generations now are getting to experience in fantastic ways. My nephews, I think your daughters as well, and there's other generations that are getting to experience this beautiful, iconic, minimalistic, simplistic gameplay that is amazing. And I think that Nintendo's, like you said, they're playing a different game. They're concentrating on this, where I think the biggest problem that I have with it is that it's not necessarily becoming a niche. It's almost a niche market where their consoles aren't powerful enough to keep up with the third parties. And third party support is why Sony and Microsoft are selling so many consoles, because first party stuff is great. There's some amazing stuff on both of them. The Master Chief Collection is fantastic. Bloodborne is fantastic. It's the reason I have both consoles. But you have Nintendo saying, we're really liking what we're doing, and we're still working on Zelda, but here's some Donkey Kong, and the third-party developers going, I can't put this new game on your system unless I completely nerf it. And third-party developers are now making the decision not to do that, which I think is better for in general, but kind of sad for Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that Sony PlayStation 4 is outselling the Xbox One.
It is.
At astounding levels. They're both doing better than any other console generation before, which is amazing.
It's phenomenal.
But the incredible thing is right now, Sony has 0 exclusives coming out this fall.
Yeah.
Before the end of this calendar year, they have the Uncharted collection, which is a re-release of something else. That's it.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4
through
is
the rest
not
of the
coming.
Year, right?
Right.
Because the next exclusives are coming out at the beginning of next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
still technically fourth quarter, but
Uncharted 4 comes out in February, but until then, there is nothing. And like Microsoft isn't releasing the numbers, but based on how it was going before, they're selling twice as many consoles.
Yeah.
And Nintendo is, they have their 10 million, and the people who own Wii U's we're so happy.
Yeah.
Because it's a wonderful thing, but there are still literally millions of people who get a console and they're done.
Yes.
And
I think
people who
most
do that,
people do that.
they're not going to get a Nintendo.
Yeah.
A Nintendo will, obviously I don't have numbers on this,
Yeah.
but the number of households that have a Wii U and nothing else,
Yeah.
have to be astonishingly low.
Yeah.
It's another console that you buy.
It is another console, and I think the majority of people, I think the majority of people choose one or the other, and I think that's why you have a lot of the fanboyisms that come out of people saying, Xbox sucks and PlayStation sucks. No, they're actually both really great, and I think that what we're going to see in this generation, you're going to have people. Hopefully that don't sell their PlayStation 4s in the process, but you have this huge lag that's going to happen between now and February. And in regards to gaming, that's a huge lag. You're going to have multi-plats that are coming out and everything, but multi-platforms aren't going to get people that have already decided on what they want, already have some bias. You're not going to drive them to buy your console if they're going to buy something for Christmas.
Right.
It's either they've already decided, but if you want to sell them on something brand new and they haven't made up their mind already, Microsoft's going to blow it out of the water this Christmas season.
It'll be really interesting to see how that plays, because they've been $50 cheaper and having astounding deals. Like they've had ones where you get 2 or even 3 games along with this console. That's $50 cheaper.
Yeah. That's how I got my Xbox. So it was $50 cheaper. Now this was right before they announced the permanent change.
Right.
It was $50 cheaper. Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Unity. And I had Black Flag already, but it didn't matter because you get to play it on Xbox One. And the ease of now having that tied to my account is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I think my prediction on this, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But my prediction on this is
the internet will know.
The internet will know. The internet can hound me for it. I think what's going to happen. Right as we go into Black Friday and everything, is Microsoft is going to have enough bundles and enough exclusives that they're going to dominate the Christmas season. And
but they've already had dozens of bundles. Right now, you can get the Master Chief Collection. You can pre-order the Gears of War.
Correct.
There's a Forza one. There's a Madden one. And I'm missing one, but there are at least 5 bundles out
Madden one,
right now.
And the Madden one's the only one where I'm like, okay, I get that. But you have. And PlayStation, Sony did the same thing, where they said, "All right, we're gonna bundle our PlayStation 4 with The Last of Us," which is great. But that's a previous generation title. The Halo, that is previous generation, and the generation before that's big titles. But I don't think that's gonna bring it. I think that if Microsoft does what I think they're gonna do, they're gonna bundle it with. They're going to either bundle, or it's going to be enough momentum that either Microsoft is going to hit the same numbers as Sony is going right now, or they're actually going to pull through. Now that's going to be different in the spring. That's going to be a different story.
Right.
But I think that it's going to bring. It's going to be enough for Microsoft to the lull of exclusives is going to bring enough for Microsoft to gain some traction again. And it's a phenomenal console when it comes to streaming, the integration, and I didn't think I'd want it before, but the integration with Kinect, I am crazy lazy, and I walk into my house from work or wherever I am, and I just yell out Xbox on, boot-a-ding, turns on my TV, it turns on my receiver, and by the time I'm letting the dogs out, the console's booted up, and I'm ready to either watch TV, watch Netflix, usually Amazon, Netflix, whatever it is,
and
gaming.
It just powers up and says, "I'm here, ready and waiting."
Yeah. Before I even pick up a controller, one of my friends said, "Why don't you just pick up the controller and turn it on?" I'm saving time that
I'm doing something else, and this is something that I do while I do that.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting thing, because the Xbox is all about being able to do a couple of things at the same time. You'll be able
features are if you don't have Kinect, the Snap is really not very easy. But if you have Kinect, you just call it out, and you could say it's lazy, you could say it's multitasking, however you want to say it, but it's all about doing multiple things, or just pausing TV. You're getting up to get a drink, just Xbox pause. Go get your drink, come back, Xbox play, it starts playing. Let's say you've left the room and you forgot, that's playing. I'm missing dialogue in the movie that I'm watching.
Clearly you're not invested in this plot if you forget that you're missing dialogue.
Okay, but sure. But that happens where I'm watching something and I'll get up and realize, oh, I can barely hear it now. The way my setup is, I can get into my kitchen, I can still see and hear my my TV and everything, and yours as well.
Right.
But if I have to go outside of the kitchen, you have this moment of, if I had to use a controller, I would have to go back into the living room or have the controller in my hand and remember to have the controller in my hand, and then not leave the controller.
Not put it.
Yeah, not leave the controller in the fridge or wherever I was. It's happened. But yeah, being able to just get up and do that, and having so many options without having to grab something else. I can be on my laptop working or writing, and being able to control my media that way. And I also have my PlayStation plugged into the Xbox input, which is this weird thing, but people have complained about latency on it. I really haven't noticed anything that's killer on it. But now my Xbox, my PlayStation, I have access to both of them as soon as I speak.
Yeah. Well, see, that's one of the interesting things about perception, because that's what they've been fighting this whole time.
Yeah.
Is Microsoft is seen as this, totalitarian.
Big brother.
We're going to give you this thing, where in reality you can do more with the Xbox One console, and you have more options to do, multiple things at the same time. Like, PlayStation can play music while this other thing is going on. That's about it as far as multitasking. Yeah. Whereas Xbox,
if you go to something else, it says you got to close this application.
Yeah, this will be suspended. I can't handle it. You're asking too much.
I can't do that.
And Microsoft has quietly advanced the options that are available with their console, and continue to bring out new things that you can do. Yeah. You can now snap this, or and that's part of what's wonderful about this generation is that with patches and system updates, they're able to take a console that the consoles as they are now are not the same consoles that were released 2 years ago.
Correct.
And it's this whole new thing that they've brought into their ecosystem.
Yeah, and I think Microsoft did that a lot last generation in regards to the Xbox 360. Sony, I don't think, did it as much. But Microsoft, you had huge changes that happened in between the launch and the end of the generation. Which I'm sorry that it has ended. I love my 360, but it's over. And
well, especially now that they're doing the backwards compatibility thing, and the Xbox, even the free gold games, they've said that from now on, any 360 games that are released will be backwards compatible, and you don't have to hold on to this old console.
Is that from now on, or from when they launch backwards compatibility for the masses? I think it's
Phil Spencer has said that starting now, the future titles that are announced as games with gold are going to be. Yeah. Now, he didn't specifically say they will be ready immediately when they come out, but they're going to be on your account, and they will be working to select titles that they will be able to do that with.
Which kind of comes full circle. We were talking about Nintendo and how they can combat in this. I think that
well, do they have to?
Well,
they're making a profit. Yeah. People are happy with their products.
I think that people are happy with their new products. I think when it's their older products that I don't think Nintendo realizes their price points are horrible on. And
it never goes on sale.
No, never goes on sale. You're not getting anything.
Never is used hyperbolically. I know it sometimes goes on sale. Don't yell at me in the comments. So by never goes on sale, I mean anything you really want probably isn't. You have some WiiWare titles that do go on sale, and they're usually third party games, which some of them are great. But on 3DS has some really cool stuff on it. But I think that what's happening is Nintendo doesn't realize you can package up, not necessarily to. I mean, you could even do it at the level or just above the level where Steam does. Here's a huge bundle.
And the Rare collection we were talking about the other day, Xbox One Rare games, it's 30 or 35.
It's 30 games for $30.
30 games for $30. Yeah. And we're talking about some really fun games on that. Perfect Dark is on there. Yeah. What was it? Conker's Bad Fur Day is on there, isn't it? And then you have Banjo-Kazooie. And there are, I think it's everything but GoldenEye. If I'm wrong, if GoldenEye is on there...
No, GoldenEye is not.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be. Because they still have
GoldenEye is not on there, and none of the Donkey Kong games are, because those are owned by other stuff.
Yeah, there's still ties and copyright reasons. But
so whoever's holding on to GoldenEye,
come on!
Let us have it!
Sell it... Okay, if you sold it for 10, this is one of those rare occasions where I said earlier, and I'm going to backtrack when it comes to this specific game. There's specific games where you can keep the price point at a reasonable amount and people will buy it. You can sell GoldenEye right now for $10 a pop, and everyone will buy GoldenEye for $10 a pop. And I don't mean everyone in a hyperbolic statement. I seriously mean you are going to
everyone
who has any console at all is going to do that. Everyone's going to buy it. Now,
and then we'll remember those controls.
Yeah. It's okay.
But we'll still smile and laugh, and we won't regret the time. Yes. And some jerk will get the golden gun, and then we will all shoot them.
Yes, we will.
And die.
Or the guy will hide with proximity mines in the facility bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And we all did it. Come on.
Yeah.
You just hide in there, and as soon as that person blows up, you put out proximity mines again, and then you go back up. Who designed that? The proximity mines spawn there. You get the proximity mines, you just chill. They can't get a kill, so they can't win.
So there's your game tip for this week.
Yeah, if you haven't done that before, that's how you win every time you get in the facility. Spawn in the bathroom and just do that. I don't think Nintendo necessarily needs to compete. I would like to see them have a console, and I'm hoping the NX does this. I'm hoping the NX is able to handle third party games that are coming out nowadays.
It has to, right?
I really wish it would, because now there's a huge history to this, but I'll truncate it as so when Nintendo was working with Sony right before the N64 came out, and they went, okay, this isn't working out. We're not going to do the disc-based thing with you, Sony. We're going to do a cartridge still. And then Sony came out with the PlayStation. Since that day, Nintendo has been playing a generation behind, if not more, in regards to their hardware. The N64 had some amazing stuff on it. The GameCube had some good stuff on it, but you're playing so far behind that when you get to the Wii U, the only reason the Wii U sold so well is because grandmas and moms and whoever was buying it to play bowling. The Wii. I don't know why I said Wii U. The Wii was selling so well because of Wii Sports and other titles that were crazy casual, and you were getting non-gamers to be gamers.
Well, the other thing is if you look at the history of console sales, since the Super Nintendo, sales have been consistently going down with each generation, with the Wii as the only spike, the only outline factor.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Equation.
I agree. And then the Wii U came out, and people were confused. Is this an add-on? What is this? And then realizing, wait, it plays my Wii games, but it also plays other games. So what is it? A lot of people thought it was an add-on. I had some friends who worked for retailers at the time, or do work for retailers, and they had to get people to understand, no, this isn't an add-on. Your controllers will work, which adds to the confusion. All your controllers will work, which is cool, but you named it the same thing. And
it's not their job to sell your console.
Yes.
Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, Alienware. It's their job to say, okay, this is what we're giving you. This is why you should want it.
Yeah.
And then you make your decision from there. You can't rely on salespeople, because at GameStop, they're going to be knowledgeable and they're going to know about it.
Knowledgeable and passionate, and GameStop gets a lot of bad rap, but there's some really GameStop from the top down gets a lot of bad rap. But I've got a local GameStop that I go to, and there are some really great people that work there, and they're passionate gamers. These are our friends, so don't yell at your GameStop employees. But they're there. It's not like a used car salesman or a regular car salesman where they come in and they're trying to sell you something. Right. They're coming in because you love something they love, and they're going to answer questions for you. You're going to have people that come in who are moms, dads, grandmas, or friends that say, so and so told me about this thing and it's like this. Oh, you're talking about Assassin's Creed. You're talking about this game. That's what they're there for. They're there to, if you're there to, and some people think it's annoying. I think it's cool. To remind you, hey, this game's coming out. Did you want to pre-order it? Okay, it might be annoying, but they're doing that. They're doing that not only for a sale, but they're doing it there to make sure that you're getting that news. Some people aren't tapped in all the time, so they may go in and for a specific game and oh, did you hear this so and so game is releasing? What, they're bringing that back? You may not know. Yeah. And going to tangent on that. But yeah.
No, but we like GameStop.
We do that.
But like the GameStop employees are going to be knowledgeable.
Yes. If
you go into a Walmart or a Best Buy or whatever, and you try to buy a Wii U there, they're not going to be able to explain it, and that's like they might know. Yeah. They might give you the wrong thing, and neither one of you would know it until you got home, and that's an unacceptable barrier to entry.
I agree. I will say that for the most part, if I go to Walmart, the people that are there, they know more about cell phones. That's the big thing they've been pushing right now. In the electronics department, they'll know more about cell phones. They'll know some things about technology as a whole. But when it comes to gaming, if I go in there and have a gaming question, you just kind of have to point, and then they get it for you. If I go into Target, it's been a little better. It may be just the area that I'm in, but Target's been a little better about that. But you're going to a big box store, and you're not going to get the same treatment. You're not going to get the same treatment as a store that is this is our lunch.
This is what we do.
Yeah, you might find someone who, and it's the same thing with the toy section. I go to the toy section, but you may find someone who knows what you're talking about. You may find someone that doesn't. So
they might be there from clothing that day.
Yeah. And having worked at Walmart, yes. I subbed in fabrics. I subbed in electronics, so I was okay with that. I subbed in toys, and I'm like, I think it's over here. Just kind of walk with me. I don't know.
We'll look together.
Yeah, but yeah, you're gonna have a lot more passion when it comes to GameStop.